Is he sitting in the middle?
I am.
Right.
Welcome back.
Here we are.
Another podcast.
Aye.
The most anticipated one I think we've been talking about.
Do you know what it is? At times I've almost said it, but now is the time to say it. Well, do you want to say it or do I? I don't know. I'll say it anyway.
Go on then.
Are we in? How are we in, Jim? How are we doing? All right.
Good. Yes, very good, mate.
So, for anyone that doesn't know, this is Jim Scott. He's the wild Northumbrian, I call him.
Been called worse.
If anyone follows his work, he knows it's top draw, absolute top draw. And he's known, well, for me, Bamborough. He's
I just say the castle man.
The castle man, yeah. He does a project. What's the project called again?
Northumberlander project.
Northumberlander.
Yeah.
And it's just all castles in Northumberland, isn't it?
Yeah, 70 castles in Northumberland, so more than any other county in England.
Really?
Yeah. But I keep finding more. I just found one yesterday. So I actually think there's more than 70, but it depends on what you class as a castle, I suppose.
Yeah, so it's just I say highly anticipated. It's just like I've been excited for it.
I feel like we've been hyping it up without actually telling people who it is for a few weeks now.
Disappointing.
It's one of these things for me. It's just like because you've got a lot of followers for a kick-off. Your work's unbelievable.
Thank you.
Do you know? Yeah, I've just said to you there, that lad that's just come up here, that Jeff. He's from Leicester.
My dad.
And he follows him. He's come up and said, "Oh, are you free?" So sort of meet my fans, you know. But yeah, it's just obviously your work speaks for itself. How long have you been doing photography for?
Started, so it'd be 2 years past November.
2 years.
2 years past November. Yeah.
Jesus. What do you like about it? This is a deep question.
It is a deep question. Well, I initially started because I tore cartilage in my knee.
Right.
So I used to train quite a bit. It was just a way for us to get out. I'm an insomniac anyway, so I don't sleep.
Yeah.
Early mornings, get out,
Snap.
sunrise, and enjoy the beach or wherever. That was why I started it. But I had quite a stressful job at the time as well, so it was just a bit of a release, a way of just getting some fresh air and doing something I enjoyed.
Here's a question for you then.
Go on.
Is it the best or worst decision you've made getting into photography?
It's the most expensive decision I've made.
That's it. Do you know what?
Right? Anyone that says to me, right, they always say to me, "Oh, you must have a good camera and all this, right?" But for me, I think it's whatever camera you've got in your hand, whether it's your phone or your proper camera or someone else's camera or your drone or whatever. Yeah. But like you say, it's so bloody expensive, isn't it?
It is, and
nearly swore there.
it is very expensive, and I think once you get into it as well, you want to expand, like use different lenses. So I've just bought a new wide angle lens, as you know. But you could go on forever. But you're right. It doesn't really matter because it's what's to say the best camera is the one that you've got.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like a rabbit hole, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Once you start buying lenses,
because depending on if you're one of them shooters that literally shoots everything from sunrise, landscape, seascapes to astro and wildlife and beyond.
Yeah.
Where does the gear end? Start and stop. Do you know what I mean? If you're niche specific, so for example, if you only shoot seascapes and landscapes, you can tailor your gear towards that.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of us in our group shoot a lot more. So we've got everything from a 14mm right the way up to 600.
Yeah, well, apart from me.
So when does the gear stop? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's it's never ending.
You could just go on forever. But as you know, I tend to not to shoot wildlife because they move a lot faster than castles.
Yeah.
And castles stay nice and still for us, so I prefer landscape stuff. So I'm not after necessarily wildlife. I've got a longer lens, but I'm not after wildlife lenses. But I want to start focusing a bit more on composition, foreground stuff. which is why I wanted to go a little bit wider.
Yeah. Have you got any other castles that are in the pipeline?
No, the question you've got to ask is how far along are you in the project and how many castles have you got left to shoot?
I did 2 more yesterday. I did.
The question I asked is what I wanted to ask, Lewis.
I did 2 yesterday. I did both. There's 2 castles in Wooler. Well, there's 1 castle site and there's 1 lump of concrete that's left, or stone that's left from the second one. So I did them yesterday. I think I'm up to about just under 50, but they're getting harder to locate, and some of the ones that are left are like the private loan.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to seek permission, obviously, to get into the last ones. I'm leaving them till the end because I think
they're the hardest ones.
They're the hardest ones to do. But also, I think when you get to that point, I'll have the project will be further along, and I can kind of say to the owner of the property, look, here's what I'm
portfolio.
doing.
Yeah.
And you know, I've got whatever.
You're 1 of 10 castles I've got left to shoot to complete the project.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense. What made you want to shoot all the castles?
Bamburgh. No, well, do you know what? I was, I'd started with, so when was it? It was probably not far off this time last year, and I woke up one Sunday morning, and I was thinking, where can I go today? What could I go? And I thought I'll go and try and find a different castle. So I googled castles in Northumberland, and I couldn't find a list of all the castles, but I kept seeing this same stat: more castles than any. In different places, but I couldn't find a list. I couldn't find the locations of them. So I thought, right, well, I could make something of that. And I opened up a Google map and I started pinning them. And I ended up I found all 70, even though I'm still turning over new ones that aren't actually on the list, I think
that's probably got to be the worst thing, though, isn't it? It's like 70. Yeah. There's going to be 70. Oh no, there's a little bit more than that.
There must be more than 70 if you find a new one. So there must be a true number more than 70. Then.
Well, I think there is, but I think the problem is what do you classify as a castle? Because there's peel towers, there's tower houses, there's bastles, which is quite unique to this area. So bastles are just like fortified farmhouses. So back in the day, when it was kind of the border wars between Northumberland and Scotland, and you had all the reivers coming back and forward, stealing cattle and all that sort of stuff. So the communities built these bastles.
So are they in with this list then?
No, they're separate. No. So if you included all the bastles, all the peel towers, all the tower houses, and the castles, I think you could at least double it. Yeah, probably.
This is his next project.
Yeah.
I'll get this one done.
But there's a good bastle in near Otterburn. I can't think what its name is, but I've been there a few times when I've been camping at Wild Northumberland.
The Woodhouses bastle.
No, it's not Woodhouses. It's I'll get the name before we finish. But that's a good one. Yeah. Somewhere I want to go and do Astro.
Yeah, there's a couple of. I think a couple of the bastles would be really good for Astro. I have started plotting some of the bastles on the Northumberlander map. But there's just too many of them. They're all over the place.
Castles,
I know. Castles, eh?
And then this one you've got here, the bloody bamboo and all the scaffolds on it. Ruins it.
I know.
It's been like that for a long time.
We've literally just been saying that, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's been there since, is it late summer, did you say?
I think it was probably September time.
It's like Lindisfarne, isn't it? That was the same.
That was a year and a half.
Ridiculous.
But it feels like they put them up and then there's nobody working on them.
It's like the A1, that isn't it? The Metro Centre. They obviously the road works, but there's no one working.
I think it's one of those things, though. It's got to be done for the upkeep of the. That keeps 1,000 years old. So
really?
Yeah,
there's still people living in it as well, though, isn't there?
There's still people living in the castle, yeah. But the keep is the oldest part of the castle.
Right.
So it's just part of the maintenance.
Yeah.
Got to look after it.
Did you have a fascination with history before you started doing the castle thing? Or was it sort of something just to, like you just said there, like you realised you could do something with it? So progress from there?
I think not history in general, the history of this area, yes. So I've always, I'm proud to be from where I am, but a lot of people now, I don't think really appreciate how much has happened here in Northumberland. It was a pretty lawless place until fairly recent times, and everything from St Cuthbert and then the Vikings and the Scots.
And I only knew that the Vikings stormed here because of the actual TV show. Didn't even know.
You want to be ashamed of yourself?
I know, it's horrendous. I'm not from Northumberland, so I can get away
So
with
anyway,
it.
like the Vikings stormed here. What do you mean?
Don't ask that question. Otherwise I'll just be like telling the TV show.
The thing is, it is a nice, beautiful place. It's like, obviously, I'm from south of like the border type of thing, and I always say like the northeast coast is just it's immense for everything.
It's got to be one of the best in the country, I think.
Well, I
The
think
Northumberland coastline.
I think so.
It's got to be.
Well, obviously you've got all the way from Berwick,
Yeah.
all the way down to like Scarborough, Whitby, and everything else, and obviously in between. And I just think there's nowhere on the northeast coast that isn't crap.
Yeah.
I was going to swear again there, but it's
They've all got their own like
it's just
unique specialities in a way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what you
yeah.
want to say, like,
Well, look at Northumberland there, for instance. 70 odd castles.
Yeah.
Right? They're more than any other county in the whole of the UK. And then you've got Teesside, which is obviously known for industrial stuff. But obviously the coastline's still really nice,
Yeah.
do you know? Then
why did you miss Sunderland out? You went from Northumberland to Tees. We're at the middle bit.
something to do with seagulls.
Let's start that. It's a clean podcast, this one, Liam.
But yeah, honestly, the northeast coast so nice. Obviously, don't get me wrong. Obviously, like Blackpool side, and obviously down in Cornwall, it's really nice.
Yeah.
But
I've heard a few people say, and I haven't done the beaches up in Scotland, but I've heard a few people say that this coastline is as close to the Scottish coastline as
I think the only difference is in certain parts of Scotland, like how I've been to, the water's very blue
Aye,
and clear. And obviously the beaches themselves are just as good as Bamburgh, but you've got more of a rugged coastline.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like more like mountains and like cliffs and stuff like that, where
Well, you've got.
there's not that much difference, really.
Yeah,
not really.
Again, I don't think. I mean, obviously it's high tide at the minute, so you can't really see much of the beach. But the beach is vast when the tide is.
It's
huge.
ridiculous.
But
Isn't it?
what people don't realise, a lot of people as well, is Budle Bay, which is just sort of
massive.
Is apt. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
it
massive.
The tide goes out so
Yeah,
like
it's
ridiculous,
massive.
isn't it?
Absolutely huge.
When we go camping down there, and I was just obviously the tide was out, and I was like, "Is this the beach?" The beach is like massive, like huge, and I was thinking to myself, "Jesus Christ!" Because obviously there's estuary there, isn't there?
Yeah.
And obviously when the tide goes out, obviously leaves all everything uncovered, you know. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, this beach is huge.
But if you look at it on Google Maps, and you see, and once you've been to Bamburgh and you know how big the beach is, and then you just kind of scroll up and you look at Budle Bay, and it's like
massive.
five times.
Isn't there a part on I don't know if it's from Budle that you can actually walk to Lindisfarne when the tide's out?
Ross Sands.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. You probably
because if you go get these words out right. You've got Budle Bay campsite, but then you've got like the second part of the campsite that's on the beach.
Right.
It's got no facilities or anything. It's just a bloke in a caravan. And you give him a tenner a night or something, and you can stay there. But that part of the beach in Budle, when the tide's out, you can you can't like walk like direct, but you can walk pretty much along the coastline straight there.
To be
when
fair,
the tide's out.
How would you know about that?
Yeah.
Because I don't do much walking. You don't do much walking.
Yeah, he told us. I don't do paddleboard. That's about much. But it's an unbelievable coastline. And it's the one part that I love and hate about it is that because of how far we live.
Yeah.
Like it's an hour and I know it's an hour and 15, might not seem like much, but when you're leaving at like 5 o'clock in the morning,
Well, it's like you say,
you know
it's
what I mean?
it's
It's
2
even
hours.
worse for you.
It's 2 hours for me.
That
But
takes you 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah. Well, an hour and 50 minutes it is.
But I think sometimes when you live in an area, I don't know if you feel the same, Jim, with you like coming here a lot. Sometimes it can get a bit stale and I wouldn't say boring, but that's why I never go to walk all the time for, because it's like once you've seen it, you've seen it. It's like, do you know what I mean?
It's one of the things one of the reasons I keep coming back here. Obviously, with like 2 years into photography, I've still got loads to sort of learn. But I find it coming here, I push myself to find new comps of the same thing. Do you know what I mean?
You like using the dunes more.
Exactly. I know the place like the back of my hands, but every time I come, I try and get something a little bit different, and it just pushes you, because there's the honey, you call them honey pot shops, down on the rocks down there. So you can come, in the summer, and there'll be a dozen photographers lined up getting the same shot. Whereas I've been in the dunes this morning trying to get something, then the light kicked off, so I did go down onto the beach. But you've got that little hut, which is arguably as famous as the castle. A lot of people like to get that in the shot. So yeah, just trying to find something a little bit different every time.
To be fair though, this beach isn't just known for Bamburgh, it's obviously known for the Aurora, because obviously you get a good show of the Aurora from here.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Well, Astro in general is here. It's quite dark, isn't it? So
But obviously the fans have just, well, they're just opening again this year, aren't they?
yeah, they'll reopen them.
The fan islands.
Yes, they're opening.
They're opening. They're going to be open.
Well, they said that they weren't going to reopen them because it was better for the birds. They've realised like a big difference in the birds.
I think there'll be
There's been
restrictions.
no people on the
No,
island.
but you've got to understand, as a business, it loses a lot of money every year, and the upkeep of it as well.
The boats are still busy even for just the boat trip.
I know, but it's the money that the landings, do you know, to actually go onto the island.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think it's free for if you're a National Trust member.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you've got to
realise that.
Yeah. Obviously, the boat trip's not free, Lewis,
No, well I know that.
to get actually onto the island.
know
But
that.
what they started to do before the avian flu kicked off is that they only allow an hour maximum
on the island.
on the island.
Was that COVID restrictions or?
That was before COVID.
Right.
So before COVID, it went an hour's restriction, and then during COVID, it was an hour's restriction. Then the avian flu come in, closed the island, and then they just brought it back open again. Because the avian flu sort of not disappeared, but it's
been closed since I took up photography. So I'm definitely going to go out this year. Because I cannot photograph them puffins when they're flying. They're too fast.
Do you know what it is?
There's a knack like, and it's hard.
It is hard, but once you do get it,
I just want one.
It's like watching your baby being born.
I didn't realise how fast they were.
Oh, they're like
until I'd been on the boat. Well, I thought it was Scotland, and we were sitting on Stafford, and it was quite good because you've got like the dunes and the cliff there. You could sit, and they're literally flying right across your face. And it was like, that was the first time that I actually seen them, and I was like, oh, come on. I was like, bloody hell, like an F1 bomber.
What got me was the size of them.
Oh, they're tiny, aren't they?
Because I thought they could be quite a big bird, and I was like, they aren't puffins, surely.
Well, the thing is, because when you see them on photographs, people are taking them at 800 mil.
I think
they're sniping them in grass. So they're really close, but they are. I mean, they're only about
a couple of inches, aren't they?
Tiny little birds are.
But like you say, so fast. But when you go on there, like the path, it literally the burrows are literally at your feet.
I've never been on the island. I've just done the boat trip when you weren't allowed, but obviously they pulled the boat right up. But because the route that they took went around the farms to the lighthouse and then back around to the puffins. It was dark because it was a sunset cruise. They should have done it the opposite way around. But
when you're actually on there,
there's so many in one place.
There's rabbits and all sorts
on there. When I
there.
went to Stafford, the more like the fly. How rude. The more like they're flying across your face, but there's thousands of them in there. You don't know which one to photograph.
I've just gone off there. Jesus. But yeah, when you go on there, there's rabbits on there, guillemots, shags, there's all sorts on there. Right. But there's literally, obviously, there's a pathway, and you've got to watch where you're standing because obviously the nest at the side of the paths. Yeah. But the birds, they're not even bothered.
Yeah, so they were so used to humans.
It's so unreal to be on there, and obviously you see them and all this, and I think Jesus Christ. But when you go into the burrows, they're getting attacked by the seagulls because obviously they're bringing food home for the bairns, and as soon as they come in, the seagulls are on them. Yeah. Do you know, take the food off them. So that's why they fly so fast because they're like straight to the burrows. You know what I mean?
Just dive straight in.
They do. They literally they don't even stop. They just pump straight in there. But yeah. Have you got much on today?
Just family stuff today, mate.
Just family stuff.
Yeah, did the sunrise. I got out. I went to the Black Hole. Yesterday morning. But it was moody as anything. The sea was wild.
Yeah, I got a message off my mate Laura. She was here yesterday, and she said the mood was class.
Yeah, it was.
But it was just.
I didn't get here yesterday morning. I kind of wish I'd come here.
I think she tagged you. She tagged you in her story yesterday.
Oh, right.
Because she said, "Oh, you would do. I was there yesterday. It was crap. I hope you don't get a good sunrise and all this. And if you do, send me a picture and stuff."
Yeah, it's one of them things though. If it was banked and you're going to get a sunrise every time, everybody would be easy.
I don't think I'm getting a good sunrise here yet.
Neither have I.
In 14 years. Every time
I've had some absolute blazing sunrises here.
How far do you live from here?
Half an hour, 35 minutes.
It's not bad, is it? It's not bad. It's like me for Saltburn. Like my go-to place every other day is Saltburn, whether it's sunrise, sunset. I go to Saltburn, you know.
Yeah, it's
the look of the draw. It's the thing with photography in general, isn't it?
Doesn't matter how many apps or stats you look at.
Yeah.
Things can change overnight.
Especially on the coast. I think all it takes is a bit of cloud just where the sun's going to come up, and that's the whole thing snookered. But so even if the apps are telling you it's going to be a good sunrise,
I think a lot of people don't understand that when you look at your weather app, and it says, or it might say like cloud free.
Yeah.
But there might be cloud in another county.
Yeah.
Further down.
Yeah.
Obviously that obviously makes.
That's what I was saying to you the other week. Like, it looks mint here, but 30 miles that way there's cloud.
Yeah.
Cloud, and that's going to block the sun.
I think I work on about 70 miles. If there's no low cloud about 70 miles that way, and there's cloud here, high cloud here, you're probably going to get a good sunrise. But again, you're banking on almost like two separate forecasts being right, the one 70 mile away and the one here. So you just got to take your chances. And
but the thing is, if you live that close to somewhere, sometimes it just works.
Well, that's it. Half an hour is nothing.
Absolute like horrendous conditions, and all of a sudden, it's like the other morning. It didn't look very good when you put the video on, and then you walked away and the sky blew up.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Last Sunday I was on Lindisfarne last Sunday morning, and it was looking all right, and the apps hadn't said it was going to be particularly good. I got a couple of shots of the castle, but
this is your boat shot, isn't it?
Yeah, the cloud wasn't. There was like two streaks of cloud coming across the sky, so I thought, no, there's no doing. So I walked round on the pier, the harbour, the other side, and the sky just went absolutely crazy.
The best ones though, when it's like just like.
But I was in the wrong place, which is why I ended up with a load of boat shots.
I know, but the thing is, like I said to you, as soon as you posted, I was like, simplicity. I love it. The simpler the shot for me, the better. Do you know? I like if the beach here, if there's one person walking down the beach, that's mad. I'll go for it.
I've just got a photo on your camera. You'll have to send us. It's with the wife through the dunes.
All right.
With the dog.
Yeah.
But I didn't change the settings, so it's get like soft palette. So it's like that.
Soft focus, you mean?
That's what I meant.
So it's because you're using a proper camera, Lou. You know what
I mean? What do you think was the one? I don't know. I think I know what you're going to say anyway. But for people that are listening, what was the one photo you think sort of put your name on the map, as in like people started to recognise?
Oh, it was definitely that Lindisfarne shot with the birds.
With the birds.
Definitely.
I knew that was what you were going to say. But
that was and that was complete luck. I was at that point. That was really early on. So I think that was the. So I've got the camera in the November. I think that was the end of the January or the beginning of the February, and I was there. So I didn't even know what settings were on the camera.
I don't even know what shit you're talking about.
The Lindisfarne, like the sunrise shot with the birds.
No, I don't know.
I'll show you.
Horrendous, you like.
See, do you know what? I just know him by Bambra.
Well, I only know because I think has it been a sponsored post before?
Yes,
sure, that's how I actually found out who you were.
Yeah.
Was through that? I think it was that photo. But didn't you win a competition with that photo?
It was the Northern Photography Prize. Yeah.
Is that the hamper? That's the hamper thing, isn't it?
It's £1,000, isn't it?
Oh, is it the run up at the hamper?
I don't know.
No, I don't think
is
so.
it LJ? Is it LJ?
That's a different competition. It's the same competition, but
different prize.
She does like writing competitions. And
Yeah. What is so that the Northern Photography Prize is like the big one, but then I think they do like mini ones throughout the year where they win like a hamper with boots. And
that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Like it's like all local like jams and cheeses and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I've never seen them do that one for a while. Actually, I don't know.
So is it just that one they do now?
I think they might have just moved away and just done the big one. Yeah. But they do the Northern Photography Prize and the Northern Videography Prize now.
Yeah. There's a writing one as well. But yeah, that shot was just pure luck. I probably took about 6 or 7 frames when I saw the birds take off, and that was probably the only one that was sharp. The rest of them were just blurred.
To be fair though, like I say, it can only take one photo.
Yeah,
definitely.
Do you know what I mean? it's sort of like...
I haven't had that yet. I've been doing this 14 years. I haven't had that one.
Same. I'm still in search of it. I think my deck chair was probably the best shot I've ever had. With the 2 deck chairs on Saltburn Beach.
Yeah.
And I come second, and I won 500 quid off that. But first prize was I think it was like 5,000 quid.
Right.
But that was for NatWest Bank. Not NatWest, Nationwide.
Oh, right.
And I come second. Some bloke beat me with one of the shots in, I think it was like Wales or something like that, like Snowdonia.
Canny for competition, I mean, it might be a bit out of the way for you, like, because the shots have got to be took in Seaham. I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah. The travel one.
There's a travel agent in Seaham Harbour, and they're doing a competition, so they set like a theme each month. You'll go into like a draw. So if you win that for that month, it might be like, so I think the first prize was like a hotel stay, and then the second one was like a voucher for the lamp room, for a meal for 2 or something like that. So, and then at the end of the year, they're going to do like an overall winner, and all it says in the description is make sure you have your passport. So obviously I'm presuming being a travel agent is going to be like a breakaway somewhere, but it's a local competition to be fair.
Time off, so that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, if it gets me a night away, I'm not bothered where it is.
Of course.
Break away from kids and stuff. So what's the future plans then, photography wise? Any gear you want? Any?
No, I think I'm done with gear for a bit. I'm probably, well, I've sent you a couple of pictures for the reboot.
I say, well, I haven't looked at them. I've seen the email come through, but I haven't looked.
They're the sort of things that I probably want to move a little bit closer to, and do a little bit more like that. But interestingly enough, you talk about social media, the shots that I'm most sort of pleased with, or that I've enjoyed taking, processing, all that sort of stuff, they just completely flop on social media. So, like, to me, they're the ones I want to concentrate on. I want to do more like that. But it's
for me, like you both know, I think everyone knows that social media for me, I'm not remotely interested in. I don't give a crap in numbers or anything. I post whatever I like to post. I can understand, obviously, you've got standards that your posts have to be like a certain standard, but I just post anything, me. I don't give a have you thought about doing workshops or like that? Because obviously there'll be a lot of older, I'm not saying you're old like Jim, I'm just saying that there'll be a lot of older people that would be interested in taking pictures of Bamburgh or any of the castle that you've got to shoot. I
think the castles one, I think, would be probably a bit of a draw, and I have thought about it, but it's one of them things that I think it would probably take a lot of prep, a lot of planning. It's a big commitment, because you know, if you've got people coming from different parts of the country and all that sort of stuff, you'd want it to be absolutely
like proper itinerary,
and you'd want it to be something a bit special as well. So I think maybe in the future I'll do something with it, but I think for now, and I you know, in all honesty, you know, who am I to be teaching people? You know, I think it's more about the castles than it is.
I'll tell you what we'll do, right? We'll put on
for a workshop. Sorry to interrupt, like, but do you know, like, for a workshop, it's not just that would be like something that you could do that would be completely different to what everybody else is doing, because it wouldn't just be for photography. It's like what you've just said there. It would be the actual. You're not doing a Jim Scott workshop. You're doing a Northumberlander workshop. So you're taking people to the castles that might not have even known existed, giving them an opportunity to actually photograph them.
See, when I think of workshops, I think of knowledge. I don't think of how good your photos are or how good you're at talking to people. I think it's knowledge. I think, because obviously you'll be taking people to places that have never been seen for years and years and years. I know it might be just a lump of rock in the middle of the middle of the.
That's what I mean, but a lot of people have had that interest that, like, they didn't even know that existed, and they found out through Northumberlander. Like, oh, I want to go and see that.
You know, like, some of the sites that have fascinated me more than any is where you've still got the Motte and Bailey. There's nothing there now, and it would have been it probably would have been a timber castle or fort. So that, like the one at Wooler yesterday, you can still see, and there's a brilliant one at I can't remember exactly where it is, but there's one at Harbottle, which you've still got a little bit of ruins at Harbottle, but there's a couple of sites where you've still got the Motte and Bailey. You can see the imprint of where the castle would have been, so if you stick the drone up,
you can still,
like, it just looks like a hill. If you want to take it from the ground, it just looks like a steep embankment.
So it's like Hadrian's Wall, where if you take it from above, you can also see all the rooms and stuff like that, can't you?
Yeah, there's a couple of really interesting ones, but like I say, if you were on a workshop, you'd have to have a drone to get that shot. Because if you're there to learn about the history of it, that's different. But the shot from the ground is now there's nothing to do with that really.
Probably like a little bit of both, wouldn't it? Because you wouldn't just be getting photographers on the workshop, would you? You'd be getting like, I was going to say elderly, but I'm pointing at older people, but you wouldn't. You get all sorts of range of people, not just snapping photos on a camera. They'd be like, even just on their phone type of thing, just to say I've been there. Whether they're getting from aerial or not, because a lot of places probably won't allow you to do
aerial photography.
If you're on a workshop.
It's because it's classed as commercial, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you? Sorry, Joe.
I was just going to say, like, a lot of this, which I totally understand, by the way, but a lot of the sites don't like drones. Like, you can't put a drone up over the castle. I mean, obviously, if you're taking a shot from out, over the sea or whatever, it's not the same. But you wouldn't, the structures are old, and if everybody starts flying drones over them, you'll get some idiot who'll want to be really close. They'll hit the keeper. So you know what I mean? It's not right.
Get the FPV up.
Obviously, like you say, people live there still as well. So you got to obviously
respect that as well. Yeah.
Do you know? It reminds me of me and Jason. We went somewhere in like Yorkshire, like shooting waterfalls or something, and we come past Bolton Abbey, and I think it was Bolton Abbey or Bolton Castle or something like that. And so we pulls in. I'm like, right, the light's perfect. Get the drone up. Started doing like a POV, point of interest, around this castle, and all there was that. Some bloke shut up. Get that fucking drone down now. It's over my house. Didn't realise it was house next door. Obviously, I was too busy focused on the light.
Yeah.
And obviously, I was like, oh yeah, no, but I brought it down. And then when he went, I was just like, do you know what? I didn't realise. I was too busy focusing on the light to get the shot that someone was living there, And I thought, it was a fair play to the fella,
We were in Scotland last year and went to Glenfinnan, and we obviously were all flying drones, but you're not supposed to fly drones. But we flew them anyway. I mean, it was very quiet. It was like, it'd be different if
it was before the season that it kicked off.
It was the day before the season of the train kicked off, but the ranger came and pulled us as we were coming back. It was sound like, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But he said, if I see drones around here, they get shot.
Yeah, they just get blown up the skies. Right. But he was sounding that. But
but we didn't fly. We didn't fly over the track anyway. We were like, it's still a no-no.
Yeah.
But we're more like flying way back.
Yeah. I suppose it's like anything else, though. It's like,
I think as long as you respect, I know you're not respecting the rules in a way, but you're respecting the area, and you're not.
I think if you're away from crowds, I don't see the point. Like, I don't see the harm in it. Like, but
there was no train, there was no people. It was dead season.
The problem is, though, while we might be sensible with it, you're always going to get. If the rule doesn't exist, you're always going to get somebody who pushes it too far. Sure. And does something
happens
daft.
all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So I totally get it.
They'll probably end up changing the rule for the 249 gram drone, I think, eventually.
Do you think?
Yeah. Because it's so easy for people like
anyone
of the public can go and buy a Mini.
Yeah. Well, a man was selling his Mini 1 for 175 quid the other day. So I think anyone can buy one. Anyone can fly one. Because people say to me, don't you crash it? And they don't realise it's got GPS, so obviously once it goes up, it just hovers until you tell it where to go, and then once you tell it where to go, it still hovers again.
Most of them, obviously the Mini 4 is different. It's got sensors underneath now, wasn't it? Or on the front, sorry.
I don't know.
I think the 3 had. I've got
the 3's got them either underneath, and then the Mini 4 has got them on the front now, so it's got.
No, I might have them on the side because I know the Mini 3 doesn't.
It has got extra. It has got on the Mini 4. It has got extra ones. Not as much as like the Mavics and all that sort of stuff. It has got extra ones. But like I say, they're just so accessible and so affordable, aren't they? Anyone can have them, and people that don't really understand the rules and all the wildlife stuff and restricted areas, they'll just go out and fly it anywhere.
No, but having a drone's so like it's completely different than anything else, isn't it?
It is.
The perspective you get
opens up like a lot, like.
It does, yeah. Completely, like with the Castles project, there's some of them I just couldn't have got without the drone.
Yeah, well, like they said about the Motte Bailey, do you know that without the drone going above shooting down, it would have just been there used to be a castle here.
There's a hill.
Yeah,
there's a picture of a hill.
There's 70 pictures of hills.
The hill project.
Yeah. That would be a good thing. I'm stealing someone's idea in a way here. Don't ever really actually put this on a public domain, this idea, like. So do you know Drew Dodd?
No.
A wedding photographer. You know Drew Dodd, do you? So he does a thing with his weddings where he'll do like a green screen for all the party guests and do it as a big frame.
Right, okay.
So like it looks like all his guests are maybe standing on a shelf.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? With the bride and groom in the middle. That sort of idea, but the castle side of it. So like it would be pretty much like a stock print, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
So each box would have like a different Northumberland castle.
Yeah.
There's like a big,
yeah,
like
yeah.
sort of A2, A1 print.
Yeah. Well, as I say, I'm at 50 now, but some of them are not at all like picturesque.
Yeah, you've mentioned that you want to go back and sort of redo a few as well.
But even like the one at Wooler yesterday, it literally is. There's a like a circular pile of stone.
Nice.
That's all that's left. It's you couldn't make a print of that. It's recorded. Yeah. Like I've taken the picture of it.
Yeah.
Some of them are in quite there's a place called Tarset Castle, which is, again is the Mott and Bailey's there. There is some earthworks there, but there's land. The land at the far side of it is subsiding and it's fallen down into the little creek, the river. Yeah. So like some of these places are not going to be around forever.
Yeah.
So that's
Well, that's good. It's good to document that, though, isn't
exactly.
it? Because I think that's history in itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you know?
Because once they're gone, obviously, once they're gone, they're gone.
And
there might be some kind of written record of them, but I don't. Well, the reason I wanted to do it is because I can't. There's nobody has taken a photograph of all 70.
Yeah. So have you got a website?
I've got a website. I've got a page on my website with all.
About North. You haven't got Pacific for the project, though.
Yes. No. It's one page for the project on my site.
Your website for your photography, but you haven't got specific like.
No. So it's got so everything that I've just put the other two on yesterday afternoon when I got back. So all the ones that I've done are on there, but I've kind of starred the ones where I'm not happy with the image and I'll go back.
Yeah.
But I just want to get through them
conditions
all.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
Well,
Have you ever thought about doing like a book or like that?
I have. Well, you've mentioned the book, haven't you, a few times? Funnily enough, my daughter suggested it last night as well. So I think I might do that once it's done, like a coffee table book.
Yeah.
Have you seen the This is Enland book? I think that's how the.
This is Northumberland.
But is it called This is Enland book or not?
It's. I think it's the same people, but they've got the Enland 250, which is the drive, and then This is Northumberland is the
book. Well, that like style of book will be like because that's like a coffee table book, isn't it? Really, a light read type of thing.
Yeah.
A light read, anything more than three pages for a light read for a smoggy is like hard work.
I'm hoping if you do one, it's going to be like 99% pictures, like a comic book. That's my style.
I'll spell the castles out phonetically. Bamboo.
Now you're just taking the mick. But it'd be good to have a book. Yeah. You know, obviously, like you say, once you've all documented.
Yeah.
And you've got the right ones that you need to shoot, and obviously the conditions are right for each one. I think as a book, I think it'd be great.
Well, a shout out to Sal Digital because they often do like a free photo book where you can like apply. They'll give you like I think it's like £100 voucher.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You've got to then make you can spend it on a book, a print, whatever it is that you want to do.
I'm not speaking to them after what they do with calendars.
Oh, they must be calendars, didn't they?
Did they?
They printed 2 Aprils and no May.
You're joking,
huh? The image was right. This was a different image, but the actual calendar.
Not a shout out to Sal Digital then.
No, so do you know what it is? I always like every photo I ever do for like wedding photography or landscapes or anything, or even books.
Yeah.
I've always used Sal because of how easy it is to use and the quality.
The quality was really good. But the first calendar sold out like in 24 hours. So I did the second one.
Yeah.
And I'd posted. It was the second one that came back wrong. So I got them all in, shipped them all out, and then one of the customers came back to us and said, "I think they've made a mistake on the calendar. I think they've printed two Mays." And I was away with work. I said, "I'll check when I get back." Sure enough, when I got back, and I had a look on because it had all the months on the back.
Yeah.
And
how many calendars?
It was 60. So, but I'd incurred all the cost of the shipping.
Yeah,
and by
yeah.
the way, not a shout out to Royal Mail. Absolutely extortionate to post them calendars.
Do you know what it is, right? I was saying this to my missus the other day, right? It's no word of a lie. I bought, because I got some new alloys, and it's like some spacers and bolts. So I bought 350 quid's worth of spacers and bolts because I didn't know which I needed. So I ordered more than I actually needed to. So they sent them by Royal Mail. So I needed them, tried them, no good. So I sent them back. So I sent them back by Royal Mail. It cost me 20 quid.
Oh, it's
for 15 kilos.
Outrageous.
Yeah, for 15 kilos. I was expecting like 90 quid, 100 quid to send it back because it weighed.
Oh, right,
honestly,
okay.
the box is like this. I'm not kidding you. And I said, this is going to cost me a fortune to send back.
Well, the bigger calendars, the first ones, which were, I think they were A3, so they're quite big.
Yeah.
And they were costing £7 something. They were classed as a large parcel. It was costing £7 odd.
But they will probably more than likely go through a letterbox.
No, they wouldn't have gone through a letterbox.
No, this is my argument. To send one letter recorded delivery on a special, like a special delivery.
That wasn't even special delivery.
12 quid to send one letter.
Dear me.
And £20 to send a 15 kilo box.
Wow.
Pardon, sorry. See, I was getting irate there. Just bleep that out. I'm getting irate.
I don't
Honestly,
think you actually said it properly though, so I'll let you off.
just when it goes over, just buzz over it.
Put a big black dot over your face.
Honestly, but I think that it's ridiculous, isn't it, what they charge?
Oh, it is.
But I think for Sal to do a mistake like that as well, especially as a photography.
Yeah. And it wasn't easy to resolve either because you can't speak to them, so you got to email them.
Emails,
and then I was waiting for something, so I was going back and forth on emails. And I see a picture of it, so I sent them a picture. And then they did. To be fair, they did reprint them, which you kind of have to. Really.
Yeah, well,
it was their mistake. So they reprinted them and sent them out, but then I had to post them out all again.
Yeah.
To your cost as
At
well.
my cost, yeah. So that was.
So you made no money on them calendars then?
Nothing.
I made absolutely nothing on them. I wasn't going to make much on them anyway, but
I don't think you make much on calendars.
No, you don't.
But how do people do it in a way where it's like
Sustainable.
yeah?
Well, I think that
Because you're not expecting to make like you're not going to become a millionaire selling calendars, but you at least want to make like
a couple of quid.
a bit pocket money.
I think there's different companies that do it, and the earlier in the year that you order them, the cheaper they are.
Yeah, colour calendar. That's the one I was using before.
So basically, you need to try and work a year in advance,
Or as close to, yeah.
what people want to see. But it's never going to work, is it? Because if you take a photo in just like August, that like your followers love, but then it's not on your calendar because you've ordered it like
a year in
advance. So all your shots are going to be like sort of a year old, basically, aren't they? No, but some people are bothered, though, aren't they?
Oh yeah. So obviously, if you took the bird shot yesterday, and you get 10,000 views and 3,000 likes,
that in the calendar,
you want that in the calendar. But if you're doing it a year in advance, that's not going to be in the calendar.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Do you know? I understand what you're saying.
I mean, I wouldn't be bothered like making them. It's like, well, it's my calendars. I'm making them the way I want. If you want to buy them, you want to buy them.
I think that's the way the photographers think, isn't it? It's like I'm putting the shots I want to put into the calendar, not the ones that you want to see. But
if you want that bird shot, you have to wait next year.
Pre-order. But yeah, have you any more questions though?
I don't think so. Oh, my phone's over there doing something, but yours is not. I'm going to put you on the spot, Jim.
Go on then.
Right, Be Brutal series.
Yeah.
You're going to review one of our images.
Oh, right, the other way.
I'll get my phone in a second.
Right, hang on, wait there then. Oh, you put me on the spot now. I'm trying to find a decent one.
I was meant to text you before just to say get a photo ready.
Right, hold up. Chat amongst yourselves.
How many of them have you done now? Be Brutals? 3?
Well, we've done 2 episodes, but the last one was split into 2 parts because there was. But we're going to change things. So me and Liam were talking the other day. So on the last episode, I think we had like 15 entries.
Right. Okay.
So what we're going to do is say if we get 15 again, we're going to cap it at 5 people per episode.
Right.
But we're going to do like a what they call like a randomizer.
Right. Okay.
To choose who's going to be in that specific episode. Everyone will still get the photos reviewed, but it might not be in that episode. So you might be in, say, the next one, but 10 of the other people might be in like another 4 weeks down the line. just only because of obviously Liam told us about the feedback that you give us about when you, because it's a video podcast, obviously you find it hard to like understand what we're talking about because it's a video.
Yeah.
Not everyone's watching the video. It could be audio.
Well, I listen to it in the car on the way to work. So when you obviously you're looking at an image, and I'm assuming it's on the screen for people watching on video, but you jump straight into the review, and I don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to piece together from what you're saying what the image is.
Yeah.
But
so that's why we're thinking about if we cap it at 5 people, it means we can go into more.
Describe it a bit.
Yeah, like more detail about each person's shot, because if we had like 10 people on and we had to do that for every shot, the video is going to be about 2-3 hours long. So if we cap it, it's going to make the video a little bit shorter, but we can actually go into detail and describe. So that's the plan for the Babe Brutal going forward. So
I'm just downloading an image now.
Just downloading an image.
I'm a bit nervous, to be honest with you. But I found one close to Jim's heart, so we'll go soft on it. Right, here we go.
What you doing? Use it? He's on dial-up, isn't he?
I'm just getting up now, man.
The reception here is not good at times. Like.
I knew it.
Is that the one you took in when we were here in November?
Yeah.
Right, so
Be brutal.
So this photo is going up on the screen, but I mean, if you want to
so
describe it,
I will, because
describe it.
otherwise I'm going to be a hypocrite. So it's a picture of Bamborough from the beach, wet sand reflection, blue sky. So there's not a lot of which.
I think that was blue hour. Actually, I think that was before sunrise itself.
Was,
So don't swipe right though.
Why are you describing that?
Composition, I think, is spot on. It's I think your horizon may be slightly off on that, mate.
I've literally just adjusted it because I thought it was wonky. All right. Honestly, I've literally just adjusted it because I thought it was wonky.
I don't know. That's one of the things you often pick up on. So
I'm going a bit ready, yeah.
I think the composition's spot on. You've chosen not to show the far end of the land, which I think is good, because to somebody who doesn't know the landscape well, you don't know whether that's sitting on a longer bit of land, because I often show that little bit at the end, so it's quite interesting, like to me, to look at that you've chosen not to do that. You've excluded the buildings here as well, which I think is a good shout. It's a solid image, mate. It's pin sharp. Out of 10, only because I think
it's Bamborough.
only because I think it's it would have benefited from a bit of colour, but you're not in control of that. But so I would say it's a solid 8 for me.
That'll do me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Jim.
Thank you.
Right. So.
Right, come on then.
It took us ages to figure out what I was going to show you, but because you've done Bamborough.
I swear, honest to God, right, I literally forgot that we were talking about this the other day, right, because it's all right us critiquing other people's work, but I think when we do interviews, I think it's only fair that you someone critiques us, obviously as like a on the spot thing, because you're a bit on the spot, man.
I didn't know, and I genuinely didn't know you were going to do that either. So.
I've got 2 Bamborough images, but I don't know which one to show.
The second one.
Right, okay. I like the first one better. Right.
Yeah, when he said to me there, I'm going to put you back on this spot, I was like, oh, I know what's coming here.
It was your idea.
Drone shot of Bamborough from the north end of the rocks. Love the composition. I think you've got the height of the water is in your favour as well, because you've got a lot of the rocks covered by the water, and the sweep goes from the bottom left hand corner up to the castle, so you've got a good leading line. I think that's really nice. The only 2 things that I would say that I'm not keen on, I don't like them concrete blocks. That's just a personal thing though, so they don't bother some people.
It's like what, interrupting the game, I think me and Liam were talking about it before, like, I could remove them easy.
Yes.
But for someone that doesn't know the area, wouldn't know any different. But if I was to then post that to people, because a lot of my followers are actually from the area, they would know straight away.
100%.
And it's like that thing is, does it matter that I've manipulated?
See, this is where we were saying about AI before.
Yeah.
AI makes it so easy just to.
Yeah.
It's like a one-click thing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You sort of draw around it, click, boom,
Yeah,
gone.
Sorry, mate, go on.
And I think. Oh yeah, sorry.
No, you think? So, like, personally, I would have either, I might have removed them, but I'd try and compose without them.
Nice.
But that's just a personal thing. Like, a lot of people like them. I've seen people using them in
Type
foreground.
of thing, isn't it?
And then the only other thing for me, just personally, again, I think you might have gone a bit too white on the glow from the sun, because you've got a lot of orange here, and then white. So, like, that again, just a personal thing. But I love that. So I would. Again, I think that's like if I took that, I'd be over the moon with it.
if Jim took that, it'd be a 10. But because I took it, it's more like a 7.
So, what is it?
I've got to give him an 8.
Oh, I thought I was going to beat him there.
So, do you know what? I'm not going to ask you to review this. I'll just let you look at it. But that's his picture. I probably should have showed you. Even though the sun's not that great, but
I love that one.
that was the crab pot you blamed me for carrying around in my car.
Lobster pot. So that's for people listening and not watching. Lobster pot in the foreground, castle in the background. Were you in the water for that one?
No, I think we were literally just on the rocks.
My only thing would have been I would have loved a little bit of space at this side.
When I shot it, the amount of work that actually went into that shot for the water splashes and stuff like that, and I probably could have generated fill in Photoshop out of it, but when I think I was because I was too busy concentrating on the crab pot. When I got home, I was like,
was that moving as well with the water?
No, it was all right actually. It was just one of them things that when I got home and realised how close to the edge the castle was, I was like, But it was more about the crab pot than the castle.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with what you said. It's an alright shot, but not great.
It's still got an 8.
But I still got it. No, not on that shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one's a solid 2.
The crab pot shot was when me and you were out.
I know. I'm just trying to find mine.
You camped?
Did we camp? I can't remember.
Sure, you did. I don't know if it was at the same time or.
Is that when we done Astro the night we did camp, didn't we? Because we done Astro. There's something I was going to ask you. Oh, that was what I was going to ask you because we've just mentioned it. AI.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on AI in the photography world?
I think for
it.
Well, there's definitely a place for it. It's not my cup of tea. Spot removal's about as far as I go for sort of distractions and stuff. I think it'll be a real threat to certain types of photography, like headshot photographers, for example. That's going to be a thing of the past within probably 5 years.
Well, Liam showed me an Instagram account, and then some of his shots look bang on, but he's actually totally 100% AI generated every single one of his shots. But he says that in his description. But if you look at some of the shots, some of them actually do look. I know you said that you don't think so, but I think some of them actually do look real with that type of like soft edit on it.
Do you mean like somebody's sitting typing in
Prompts
beach with a castle,
yeah.
blah blah, sunrise? See, I just don't see the point. Personally,
the thing is, I think
because it's classed as artwork now, isn't it? Digital art, isn't it? So
because it's the computer generating it. You're not generating it.
Well,
so it's computer art.
Yeah.
But the thing is, so I've used Midjourney quite a bit. Not to post really. I think it was more just to mess about really. It wasn't to do anything. You can put, so for example, I think I put in Cyborg, Terminator, Ninja Turtle or something, just something daft like that.
Yeah.
You can type that in 20 times, and each time it will bring up a different image because it's pulling information off the internet from like Google, from websites.
It's not coming out like for me. I think with photography, with painting, any art form, video. You have to have a vision of what you're trying to create. Then you have to bring elements together to create it. With that, you're not doing that. The computer's doing that on your behalf.
Yeah, you're telling it what you want, but you're not. But the computer. So if you like you said beach with castle, but you had a vision of what you wanted that. So you wanted like a medieval castle with a modern twist. I don't know, just for example. you might have a vision in your head what you want that to look like, but the computer will create its own mind up of what it wants to create, and it's not what you have in your head.
It's malleable as well, so it's more like with this castle, it is what it is. You know, you can stand in different places, you can compose your shot differently. You know, you could send a drone up, you can do whatever, but it is what it is. Whereas if you've got a computer that's creating something for you, I had a bit of fun with it a while back when Photoshop started the generative fill, and I was just putting potatoes in all my shots and putting them on my stories.
Flying potatoes, isn't there?
Potato UFOs and potato monsters in the water and that sort of thing. So for me, I think landscape photography, I don't see it as much of a threat, but I think for things like portrait photography, product photography. So, you know, if you like people who are taking images of Coke cans or, you know, like
watches or
watches or hens.
Name on YouTube, man, is it Schiffler or something like that?
I thought you were going to say something else.
No, I can't think of his name, but he does a lot of like product, like videography stuff, promo videos and stuff. But he shows you the process of how he got that photo. So he uses one of them. Is it the pinhole camera? Do you want to get big long lens? Sorry.
Oh,
the lens, do you know what I mean?
The macro ones.
Yeah, but it's like a little tube.
It's dead long. Yeah.
So you it's like a push through lens.
Yeah.
So he uses like a lot of that. He uses a lot of like, but you put the dust on a sheet and you like flip. Do you know what I mean? Like stuff like that where you can see what he's doing. But I could literally go into Midjourney or any AI stuff and just say, create me a product shot with dust powder, red dust powder with light, and it would create it, and you wouldn't have to go through all that. I grew up trying to like literally create that. Same as videography, you get video AI now and it does all that. So
I think AI is going to be like the downfall of like a creative art, because it's just everything. Look at the video of Elon Musk, where the people were scamming people. Do you know what I mean? So they had a video of him moving his lips with his voice coming out, saying, buy Ethereum and all this so-and-so website. Right. Do you know what I mean?
But the thing is, the beginning of that video was actually a BBC News reporter.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, you don't know what you're looking at now.
This is it.
So
you don't know what's real and what's not there.
Even with landscape stuff now, people are, you know, because there's a difference between, I know, like I don't even know how to do composites and things like that, you know, like sky replacements and all that sort of stuff, but I can kind of understand why somebody might do that. As long as people are saying, look, this is a composite, or I think, you know, knock yourself out. It's there. I know you do.
I say it all the time. If you're going to post a composite or do a composite or replace anything, then just say it. Yeah.
There's no shame in it. It's a bit of.
See, I haven't got no shame in it, but I just think, why do I need to tell people? It's my shot. I've done it, so.
That's
fair. For me, I think if you post,
if you ask us, I'll tell you. But I don't feel like I need to go. By the way, everybody, this is a combo. Why?
No, but for me, I just think if you post something on like a public domain, and people are going to see it, they expect. It's just like you saying there about the rocks.
Yeah.
If people come down here and them rocks aren't there.
Yeah.
I've seen 10,000 photos of them rocks there. Where have they gone?
Yeah.
Do you know?
That potato monster wasn't in the sea.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, isn't it? Like, there's loads of people that do them, and there's loads, and they don't tell people that we are. I think if you're one of the people that do them a lot, I think people then just expect that that's your.
Yeah. And.
Yeah.
You've done a composite.
I think I'm doing more with post-processing now than I used to.
Yeah.
So I used to have like a couple of presets and I'd whack a preset on and I was done. Whereas now I'm spending a bit more time in post-processing. But I think part of the fun for me is like when the light's right, or when you catch something in the moment, like they're the shots I find more pleasing.
Yeah.
I think AI in landscape photography can be a good thing if it's not overused. So, like that shot I've just showed you there, I said using generative fill just to extend the frame a bit. I don't think that would be like a massive issue.
No.
You're not really like manipulating the photo in you're not like totally manipulating that photo to change it, but to like so it's not looking like what it's supposed to.
I think with something like that as well is what all you would be adding is probably a bit of beach and a bit of sky, and all you're doing is kind of extending the frame really,
yeah,
which is what you would have got if you'd
shot it right in the first place.
if you'd framed it right in the first. No, but if you'd been able to get it that way, you would have took it that way. So I can kind of get on board with that, but I'm.
It's like when you do what I do sometimes, where you're adding in stuff that wasn't there.
Yeah. I think if you're taking stuff out of the frame, like spot removal or cloning or whatever, I think everybody does a little bit of that just to remove distraction.
I think sometimes I think I do it more when I've took a shot that I know has potential, but I haven't shot it right and it's rubbish. So then I think, what can I do with like Photoshop to try and make it like something I can post? I think that's generally what I don't do it with like an image that I've took. I think mint that, bang on that. I think it's generally the stuff that I would generally like go through my card and bin.
So I think this is why I like street photography more, because it is as it is. Do you know, you don't sort of put people in, you don't sort of take people out. It's just
it is
as it's shot.
But that like I say, I think things like street photography, landscape photography, it's as much about the experience and capturing
it's a story,
a moment in time, a story, whatever. Whereas product, portrait, I think, I hate to say it, but I think they're probably
done for.
Yeah, I do.
But it's like that's what you were saying earlier on. So take like a bit. I'm not going to say a business name, but just take like a restaurant, for example. They want you to go in to take some creative product photography. All it takes is for one of their staff members or somebody with a little bit of knowledge on AI stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They could just say, why are you paying him a grant to come in for a few hours? I said, I can do that for now for you. That's where it'll start.
It will,
And then it just takes word of mouth, and especially if it's a chain restaurant, which they would know anyway. Do you know what I mean? I'm just talking about like more like little one-man band restaurants. Like if you've got like Nando's, they've got a massive marketing team. Do you know what I mean? They would know that anyway.
I would be amazed if some of or a good proportion of the product type photography that is now in advertising for major brands is not like computer generated. Or some, maybe it's not. I think people throw AI
hire
around.
people just to do that now, won't they? Because it's sort of like multifaceted. They can do it with everything.
Why would they hire a videographer or just a creator in general to pay them X amount of hundreds or thousands of pounds to come in for a day's work when they could probably pay somebody half the money that's like knows prompts inside out, can come on a computer and just prompt everything? There you go.
Instead of just getting a freelancer, they could just have one like on their payroll to work all year round to do everything for them. Like behind the scenes.
It'll be graphic designers will probably be the first ones to use it, because what they're doing is they'll take an image that's been taken of a product and they'll slot it into an advert or whatever it might be. Instead of taking a photograph, they'll just generate it.
Still a job at risk as well, though, I think, graphic designers, because you can go online and say, make me an AI website now, code, write me code for and then obviously you have to know what you're doing with the prompts. Do you know what I mean? You can't just. We probably couldn't go in and go and there's a website. You have to. You've still got to know what you're talking about.
Even on the like Squarespace, I use Squarespace for my website, and they've got AI text generation now. So when you go in, you can say write as a paragraph about Bambra. And it'll just and if you wanted to.
Thing is, so apparently I've heard or read, I don't know how true or not it is. So if you use a lot of AI for that, like documents and stuff like wording, it's not very good for SEO. Apparently, SEO can detect that it's been AI generated and it's not true, it's not genuine, hasn't come from you. It wouldn't surprise us. No, so it means that then if you're using a lot of AI stuff for your website, you're not going to rank very high in SEO.
To be fair, I think it's a good thing though, isn't it, really? Because I think AI, I think it's the devil me. Well, honestly, it's got uses. Don't get me wrong. But I think for a lot of things, I think it's going to destroy a lot of things.
It's really dangerous. And I know
People's making a lot of money off it as well.
Well, they are, but I think there should be something in, and the Sony would be a prime example for this, but there should be something in the camera that records some kind of certificate or whatever on the file.
It does.
That tells you.
There's a is it Samsung, haven't they? Is it Samsung who just brought the S24 Ultra out, and it's got AI built in, and it actually does put it in the metadata,
right,
to say that this is generated AI type of thing.
Well, our cameras, our cameras, the AI in them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because of like face recognition.
Well, my camera's older than yours, so mine's not a robot.
Because there was a little bit of like uproar, if you will, or discussions about the new Sony at the time, which was the A7 IV, with the AI built in. Saying like, oh, are you actually in control of the camera now? The camera's doing everything for you. Well, no, you're not.
You've still got to compose and adjust that. Yeah.
But take a shot. Walk around and take a photo for you.
Samsung, I heard this on, I think it was on a YouTube video the other day. You know when Samsung brought out the 100 megapixel camera?
You're going to talk about the moon, aren't you? I've seen the video.
If you shine it towards a light, it goes like the moon.
No,
the moon's built into the phone, so when you say that was a light on the camera, if you zoom in to light, you get right in,
and
all
it
of a
goes
sudden
to a
it's to a moon. So the moon's sharp as a dart, so you can do that, and it's not actually.
It's not the moon.
No, it's a pre-built AI moon into the phone, so that's why it's so sharp. Because the bloke done like a test, didn't he? How long have we been recording for?
I don't know, but my ass is numb.
So it's mine.
Over an hour.
Over an hour. Sorry, innit? I think that'll be done then, don't it?
Because that'd be. I don't know if we.
Everyone's got like a... I'm like this. But yeah, thank you very much, Jim.
That was a good.
Thanks for
my
coming
pleasure.
on, mate.
Yeah, no, my pleasure.
We'll put all your links and stuff in the post in the description. Just send us your website and stuff like that, and any all your social links or anything you want in the description and stuff. We'll post it on, and some news as well, which you already know about. Website coming soon. Woohoo! Just started building it yesterday.
Oh, it's news to me.
You don't know WordPress. I do on WordPress.
To do WordPress, I know WordPress quite well, and it's more cost effective to do it that way. And I mean, I'm in control, so.
Good.
Right. Thank you very.
All that out, so
thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Good stuff. Thanks very much, mate.
Thank you. All done.
All done.